right, listen up, folks, because I have the ultimate tag team partner for breaking bad habits in this new year. Fume. This is not a vape, make no mistake. This is a flavored air device, and it's a game changer for bad habits. Fume draws flavor to your mouth, not to your lungs. No nicotine, no vapor, no batteries. Think herbal tea instead of soda. Fume is clean, natural, and 100% guilt-free. Now let's talk about design. Because Fume is not just about flavor, it's a fidget tool as well. Magnetic snaps, satisfying clicks. It keeps your hands busy and your mind calm. Fume is perfect for using energy or beating that bad habit that's been hanging around a little too long. My favorite is Crisp Mint. It's refreshing, it smells nice, and it's got no toxic side effects. And with Fume, guys, you can use it anywhere. No smell, no color, no side-eye coming from a stranger. Fume has helped over 300,000 people already form better habits. I want you to be next. Go to tryfume.com/Chael. That's tryfum.com/Chael, like the famous gangster. Use my code Chael to get a free Fume topper with your journey pack. Stop losing to bad habits. Start winning. Try Fume. Daniel Cormier disagrees with Dana White about Arman Tsarukyan. This was the title today. This was over at Junkie. Let me give credit to who wrote this. All right. Oh, this is by Farah. Farah Hannon wrote this. It's an interesting topic. Where would you go? Where would you go with Tsarukyan? Now, we have to operate within the information that we have. We have to do that. The good news in this industry, there is very unlikely information we don't have. Unlike the NFL, the NBA, hockey, high school, college sports, we are encouraged by leadership, that meaning Dana, to communicate with you. From day one, it is a big deal that really separated the UFC as a sport from every other sport out there. And you would have leaders of sport, football, basketball, that would, there's a tall guy, he's a bald-headed, very handsome man. He runs basketball. And then you got a guy, I want to call him Goodell, but he started as an intern at the NFL and he's the head guy. Might be Goodman, Goodell. But they have very publicly told their players and asked them, at least, never made a policy, but asked them to stay off of Twitter. I realize it's now called X. I'm going back to that 2009, 2010, as this was coming out. And they just asked, hey, stay away from that. Roger Goodell. And Dana paid guys to go on to Twitter. He set up parameters and it became an incentive in a game to really get out there and communicate and engage with the audience. So, for that reason, if nothing else, it is unlikely that there's something going on with Tsarukyan that we don't know. And that's important to know because guys that are injured historically are shown grace. Anybody is allowed to pull off of any card if they don't feel physically they can compete, right? They don't have to prove it beyond that. You don't have to show an X-ray or an MRI there's nothing like that. It is simply your word. Because meanwhile, it could go the other way too. A word gets out that this guy's hurt, this guy's damaged in some way, and they will then come out and let you know, no, I'm okay. Oh, feel good or not. I mean, I feel good enough to go and do this. So we always take them at their word, and I have to bring that to you because if you're against Tsarukyan getting what we believe to be his, how? How, if Tsarukyan was the number one contender? How, if Tsarukyan was the number one ranked guy? How, if Tsarukyan had qualified for an opportunity? How does he relinquish the opportunity absent of getting beat? And you might have an answer, but therein lies a little bit of the conversation. So I can't think of a sin larger than pulling out of a fight on weigh-in day. I cannot think of anything that somebody could do that would trump the what? An unbelievable. He's worked a lifetime. He has said since he was a little boy, this is an opportunity he wants. He's done the media tour. We know he's not scared. He's already done it once. So I can't think of an offense higher than pulling out. The other side of that coin is, why did you pull out? And if we do come down to the honor system, hey, I'm good enough, put me in. Hey, I'm not good enough, I can't go in. There's a real relevance in that. And there is a rule in life. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. There is a rule in that. So if Dana was to just go rebook this match, same. Everything's the same. Same weight, same placement of main event, same title on the line. And he lost it. Could you imagine? It's now not a debate. It's now not on Tsarukyan versus the field. It's on Dana. And you have to think of it from that perspective. He's already been burned once. He put millions of dollars into the promotion of a match. He made a good faith effort to follow through with that match. Whoever is at fault in this scenario, by the way, it's not Dana. But it would be if that happened a second time. I mean, ultimately, Khabib and Tony, you cannot reasonably rebook. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times you get burned on that. At some point, you cannot rebook the match. You've got to move forward with other opportunities. And I don't disagree with Daniel, but I don't disagree with Dana. And you know who I could use here to help? Tsarukyan. I am very inclined to bang the Arman Tsarukyan drum. Now, in full disclosure, one of Tsarukyan's wrestling coaches, Daryl Christian, sat with me to watch the fight. So I have ties to the Tsarukyan camp that would stop me from being completely unbiased. But I do feel if I look at this situation and I understand that other guys that are injured are shown a grace, there's one question that's never come up. Now, I'm on Tsarukyan's side. I will just admit that to you guys now. I'm on Tsarukyan's side, and I don't think there's a reasonable argument to make for anyone to be a number one contender over him. And every now and then the field gets cut so close, you never really know who should go in. Here, let me just give you a great example. But Sean Strickland's about to fight Dricus du Plessis. That makes perfect sense, doesn't it? But if you put Chimaev in, that also makes perfect sense. Like, we're really splitting hairs. At 155, I don't feel that we are. Paddy the Baddy, he's got the mandate of the Masters, but he doesn't have that big victory yet. Justin Gaethje could always go in. He's just that guy. Charles Oliveira probably should go in front of Tsarukyan. Max Holloway's time at 155s in this questionable era. I mean, again, of all of these wonderful names that you have, you do default pretty clearly to Tsarukyan from a competitive standpoint. But there's one question, and it's never been answered. The reason it's never been answered is this one question has never been asked. But I think that Dana knows the answer to it. When Tsarukyan calls at 1 a.m. and says, I can't go in, the question is not what's bothering you, stud. The question at 1 a.m. when that phone rings, how much do you weigh right now? That's the one question that would change everything. That would tip one way or the other. It's a question that's never been answered because it's the question that's never been asked. But that doesn't mean the answer doesn't exist. And before you base a solid argument, you need to find out when that call was made, in the most uncomfortable spot of a training camp, in the most uncomfortable spot of a combat athlete's life. The moment that that button was pushed for Dana to pick up the phone, what do you weigh right now?